I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to smack it raw.
Following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the host are not necessarily those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Smackin' Raw. This is going to be a terrible show. I'm the only one that did the warm up, like the warm up that we all do together. I'm the only one that did it.
I was trying to tweet.
I'm just saying,
okay.
Like,
I did.
If we're out of sync already. That does not count. That does not count.
Whatever.
That's what I do out the window when I'm driving my car.
That's what I also do when I'm driving.
You know?
The dolphins.
How you guys doing?
Here.
Yeah. I feel like something's about to explode inside my nose.
It's not my dick. But speaking of not my dick, my co-hosts, who are not my penis, she is host of the Sheely Showcase Inside the Mind of In the Crowd Storytime with the reigning, defending, undisputed Trick or Trivia champion, Miss Katie Kinsey. Oh, bye-bye.
Hi.
And he is the currently sick Daddy Delgado, the Pornhub Poppy, if we were still on Pornhub anyway. Cruz Delgado, Vicente Alejandro Delgado Estrada. What else we got? Salt and Spitter Swallow. Daddy Delgado.
I think you said that one already.
Stefano. No, I said Pornhub Poppy. Did I? Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He has so many names now. Like, at least Travis had like a bunch of names, but like I learned them all at the same time in succession and had to practice them. Vince just adds a new one randomly.
I don't add them. People just give them to me. That's kind of what happens.
I feel like people say something, you're like, that's my new nickname. And it's like,
not my
that
fault.
Means that means you edit it.
No, it's okay.
Well, I call him my slut, but that's only in Slack and group text.
Jesus
So
Christ. Wow. Okay.
I was going to say something. I was going to say something, but this whole conversation about my name just made me forget what I was going to say. So, anyways, I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. I just don't feel well. No man is ever truly sick. No man is ever truly healthy. But I'm here anyways. Let's do this thing.
I honestly don't think that's true.
Isn't that the lyrics? I thought that was the lyrics.
I don't even know what you're talking about. But
okay.
Oh my God.
I want to thank everyone for joining us. If you're joining us live, we are over on a couple places you can check us out live. Twitch.tv/Creation World, where if you have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming, you link that Prime Gaming account to your Twitch account, you get a free sub every month. Katie, what should they do with that free sub?
Give it to you.
Why should they do that, Vince?
As he's blowing his nose. That's fucked up.
Because you're awesome, Matt. You're right. I am fucking awesome. Thanks, Vince. Yes, you should. And if it's not just me, maybe you like a little girl-on-girl action. Well, you get that over on the Sheely Showcase. Not this week because it was Solo Cicadi's flu game, but
flu game.
On occasion, get Savannah and Katie. Sometimes Wednesdays, sometimes Thursdays, sometimes after Dynamite, sometimes at their normal time slot, sometimes whenever they're free. But you get them over there talking women's wrestling, the weekend wrestling. They've got fun questions and all that stuff. You can sub over there. Or, maybe our friends over at Rivet City Radio. They got a bunch of different shit for you to keep you entertained and happy. You can do that. Speaking of our friends over at Rivet City Radio, there's a man that ran 13.1 miles today, actually, I think.
Literally,
was it miles or meters? I don't know. I don't know if you're, I don't know how runners measure things. Well, sometimes they measure it in meters because they want to be different. Kilometers? How many, was it 13.1 kilometers? Miles. Miles Morales. Anyway, youtube.com/Creation World, where it is free to like, to subscribe to, comment. Katie, what does that do?
Boost the algorithm, helps find the listeners.
And why is that important?
Because you're a whore.
Ooh. You should do that voice when you read things and do things. Maybe if you ever bring the Patreon back, you should just read things to people in that voice. And make good money.
No, thank you. No one goes that. Not gonna ask you.
No, it is. Taking orders on Cameo right now, ladies and gentlemen. Just go check her link.
I'm not.
Like, subscribe, comment. What does that do? Boost the algorithm. Why is that important? Because I'm a whore. Yes, I am. For your likes, for your comments, for your views, for your attention, ladies and gentlemen. So please fucking give it to me. Please give me that attention. And the best way to do that is to share me around like the whore that I am and let everyone know about us and let them like, subscribe, and comment and do all of those things. We would appreciate it because we are fucking awesome and more people need to listen to us and more people need to enjoy us and more people need to experience the awesomeness that is the trio of Matt, Katie, and Vince.
Yeah.
Ditto.
What that guy said.
And then flick your bean. Hit that notification bell. Get notified every time we go live, which is the easiest way to remember when we're live because right now we're not at our normal time slot. We might not be. We'll probably be here for the next 3 weeks because, we'll get into that here in a second. But anyway, whenever Creation World goes live for anything, the only time that's normally set perfectly is Thursdays for the Creation Conversation, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 7:30 Eastern. Tomorrow, you guys can join us if you set that notification bell, just so you don't forget. For Getting Off, me, Katie, and the Final Bill podcast will be talking the Collector and the Collection. Come join us for that. That'll be a good time. Anything else?
No.
Okay. So I started for my day job, which isn't really a day job right now. It's an overnight job. But anyway, I've been working overnight, starting last night, and I'll do it tonight and then tomorrow night as well, which not fun, but it is what it is. That's why we're where we are. Terrible fucking day yesterday. So one, I had to start at 9 p.m. and I worked till 6 a.m. I woke up at 6 yesterday. Could not fall asleep. Couldn't get a nap. Nothing. Had some errands to run. So I go, we put a new window in between the kitchen and the living room.
Mm-hmm.
So we needed paint to paint the wall where we put the giant hole in the wall and patch stuff. So I go and I get the paint and I go and I get dog food and I go and I get some stuff from Walgreens and I was supposed to get allergy medicine and I forgot. Then I get home after I pick Zoe up from daycare and I let Zoe out of the car and I go to the back of my Subaru and I open up the tailgate and the gallon of paint rolls out of the Subaru, hits the garage floor, ruins the only pair of actual shoes that I own. I realized that I have one pair of shoes now. I've got boots and I've got dress shoes, but daily use shoes, I have one pair. I'm not a sneakerhead. Ruined. A favorite pair of sweatpants, also ruined. Pants, socks, shoes, trash, gone. Also, have to clean up all of this fucking paint that's all over the floor and shit, right? That took about 45 minutes. This is at 5 o'clock at night. So I'm also needing to get ready to go to work. Come inside. After all that's said and done, sit down, play with Zoe a little bit before I had to go. She's got one of those sticky hands, you know? So she throws it and I grab it. She lets it go and smacks me in the eye. Okay, fine. It was an accident. Not mad. It is what it is. Not going my way today, but whatever. So I give it back to her. She apologized. And about 2 minutes later, takes that fucking thing and smacks me right across the face with it, right in the fucking mouth. And I'm like, all right, that's it. That's going in the fucking garbage. I'm done. I am fucking done. So threw her sticky hand away because I told her if she can't learn not to hit people in the face with it, after she did it once, the first time was an accident. The second time was on purpose. She no longer gets the sticky hand.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy.
That was my day yesterday on top of going into work. And then I woke up this morning sore as fuck. I had to go buy Dr. Scholl's inserts for my work boots because my just everything from my hips down just feel fogged. So just not a good time, not a happy time. Fuck the Cody Rose.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes.
Oh. Speaking of algorithms, thank you, Will. So, you know what I was wearing yesterday, though? Well, all of this was happening. It's actually the AEW shirt that I have, but I was wearing my Aleister Black shirt, my Malachi Black shirt.
Okay.
AEW. Because I had faith, even though it wasn't explicitly said, but it was highly rumored, that our boy Aleister Black was returning. And did he ever return to SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen? I was on my way to work as this was happening. So, yeah. But enjoyed the shit out of it. Same night that Aleister Black returns and Black masses The Miz after The Miz presented Carmelo Hayes with a giant, gaudy gold Andre the Giant head chain.
Mm-hmm.
Zelina Vega wins the U.S. title.
Giant head, you would call it.
So no head?
Yeah.
It's still smaller than JD McDonough's. But anyway, Chelsea Green loses her United States title to Aleister Black's wife, Zelina Vega. Very good night for the family. Not the family, but their family.
The family.
Not the family.
You know they celebrated that night. They had a couple black masses, a couple black red codes or code reds or whatever.
Code red?
Code reds. There you go.
Black masses and red codes.
They're black masses and red codes. There you go.
I know you guys were all excited. Aleister Black returning. We've been anticipating it. We've been waiting for it. I was hoping it was going to be in Chicago. I guess I can't get everything. But SmackDown after WrestleMania, new United States Women's Champion and the return of Aleister Black, which means I officially have a male wrestler.
Happy for you. I saw that and I fucking marked for you.
Don't get me wrong. I love Cody, but I love Cody because of everything that John Cena said about Cody, which we'll talk about later. That was true. But also because I don't know if you heard Daddy, you doing your podcast, but that one loves Cody Rhodes. So I love Cody for her, right?
That's fair.
But for me, it's the characters like Aleister Black, like The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, The Undertaker, those characters that are really like my true favorites. And I haven't had one. You know, the Wyatt Six kind of shit the bed. So now I have Aleister Black back, and I can only hope that Triple H remembers how he used to book him and then does it the right way.
I mean, we got the theme.
We got the theme. Root of evil, or root of all evil.
I was like, ain't no way. I didn't have faith in them getting that song back. And I said, oh shit. And they did it.
Oh, I didn't have faith either. And that was mostly because it was the CFO at $sign song. And they don't like to use those songs anymore. So they try to like avoid using them. But
I feel like there was a conversation that Young Kings had, which I'm going to talk about TC here again real quick, because I just realized what he was doing. I'm that tired that I just caught on to the fuck the Cody Rhodes. That's what that was. And shout out to you, TC. But anyway, I feel like they had a discussion not too long ago. Like the CFOs didn't really hit. Like Keith Lee, Aleister Black. Like I feel like CFOs hit. I feel like
AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, just to name a few.
Shinsuke
Nakamura, Street Profits, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Asuka, Io Sky was Death Rebel. But there was a lot of great bangers. There was a lot of great hits. Seth Rollins, the original one.
Johnny Gargano originally.
Yeah, Johnny Gargano original one.
Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh my god! Oh. Hey, can we talk about clean shaven Tommaso Ciampa? That's probably why they lost. Because he decided to shave.
No, it's not his fault. He had to.
Why did he have to?
Because he got like a huge ass gash in his chin and he had to shave. But it's growing back surprisingly fast.
Not if you can grow facial hair. If you can grow facial hair, it's not surprising. If you can't grow facial hair,
well, because he literally shaved it like last week.
Yeah. Before we talk Tommaso Ciampa and the match that should have been on WrestleMania, we'll go right there. Please spit, swallow, Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, new U.S. champion.
Swallow.
It's all swallow. It sucks that Chelsea lost the title and because she's so good, but it's going to Zelina. She deserves it. I don't know if it's going to be like a quick like jumping back to Chelsea because they made a big point of saying that the ref that was refereeing their title match was also the same ref that did the count-out victory for Chelsea. So maybe Chelsea, carries her way into getting her title match back or getting her title back in general. So, because technically speaking, she could carry in her position and say, well, technically Selena should have won via disqualification because Alba Fire was caught in the act. So I don't know. It still leaves open possibilities, and I'm just happy for Selena. Chelsea's great. Secret Harvest is great. Black Mass is back. Love it. It's all swallows.
Also, Vince, I've decided. Have you seen that picture that Chelsea posted before her match?
I have not seen it.
Okay, I'm going to send it to you, but I'm going to need to replace this with the audio and then that picture.
That is America's ass.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Yeah.
We're going to have to do that. Any final thoughts, Katie, on – because I know you were excited as I was that our boy Alistair's back.
Oh, yeah. I even tweeted. I was like, is he going to show up or what's happening?
Yeah.
I was like, I was waiting.
Rumor is the Wyatt Six is coming back. Rumor is Alexa Bliss is involved. Rumor is that Aleister Black is on the same brand that the Wyatt Six and Alexa and Nikki Cross is. Yes. One of my favorite things from NXT was the relationship between Nikki Cross and Aleister Black after he got jumped in the parking lot. And
Nikki had a secret.
Like,
I love that.
Oh, the episode where Aleister comes back and he's just black massing everybody after getting attacked. Oh. Come on.
I'm going to stop watching current wrestling. I'm just going to go back and watch NXT Black and Gold.
Yeah.
NXT Black and Gold review show.
Again. Yeah.
We lived it. Now we're going to go back.
Yeah. Even though it was only a couple years ago, we were going to sit here and reminisce like it was 20. But no, it was great. He even got his original gear back because, like, in AEW, when he was Malachi, he had, like, the boxing shorts, which I wasn't the biggest fan of because, show us.
Because you like bulge.
I like bulge. I like all the skin being shown. Aleister Black is what I envisioned Matt would be as a wrestler if he had long hair and more tattoos.
And lost a lot of weight.
I mean, you'd lose it automatically. But yeah,
immediately. That's
just
how
like
that works, I guess.
Yeah. So
wrestling Ozempic.
Yeah, wrestling Ozempic. There you go.
Also, he kept the eye from COVID
he
throughout AEW and here. Like,
hey, unlike Rey Mysterio, he wasn't able to heal his eye.
Yeah, no, Rey Mysterio doesn't. He doesn't care.
Ray got that prosthetic eye. Aleister Black just said, "I'm just going to tough it through and live with this injury."
Okay. Well, speaking of toughing it through, 6 men had to tough it through a hell of a TLC match that abso-fucking-lutely should have been on WrestleMania over the New Day versus the War Raiders. And I saw somebody else say, also get rid of AJ Styles, Logan Paul. Agreed. Get rid of those 2 matches. Put this there. Jesus fucking Christ.
When at the SmackDown, where they, like last week when they announced this, and they said it was going to be on Friday, the amount of boos, like, it was deafening how loud those boos were.
And they went out. Go ahead.
They had their way to get the match onto WrestleMania. That's all they had to do was just say it was going to be on WrestleMania instead, and they didn't do it, which sucked.
They went out there and they proved that they should have been on WrestleMania. I mean, we talked about Tommaso Ciampa, no facial hair, not winning. Angelo Dawkins, and I believe it was Tommaso Ciampa doing the Jeff Hardy edge spot, but through a fucking table.
I was so scared. It looked like they landed on their legs. I was like, God damn it. Nobody break an ankle.
Montez Ford just fucking free flying through the air for no goddamn reason, for shits and giggles. Johnny Gargano throwing chairs at his mentors and faces, like directly into their face.
Looney Tunes type shit.
Oh, you mean when he had the chair wrapped around the neck and then just slaps it with a chair? Or is that
when Alex Shelley was on the ladder and he just took it and threw it?
Oh, okay.
No, Johnny just be throwing chairs at people's faces for
no reason. He throws them.
Yeah. But my favorite spot was that one. I think it was against Alex Shelley again too, where they wrapped the chair around his neck. He's just, I'm gonna slap it, and then you see it spin around his neck. Crazy.
Looney Tunes type shit.
Looney Tunes type shit. shout out to the Street Profits. With I'm assuming it was WrestleMania gear that they thought they were gonna be able to use, but they came out with the HBK inspired gear. Like
And
it's
won.
their, and they won because they were doing the ladder match, obviously. But you know, like they just fucking look dope. And then Montez Ford had the hat, had the whole like sexy boy top with the whatever it's called on top.
Zebra.
No, not the zebra print. It's just like the little like metal bling that like Sean has.
Gotcha.
I don't know what the fuck it's called, so I just call it the sexy boy tassels or whatever. But yeah, sexy boy tassels got them to win. Maybe it's the cowboy hat. Who knows? But fantastic match, dude. Like, and they gave it no commercials too, which was great.
As they should. Like, we don't need no goddamn commercials.
They should have just taken off the New Day match and taken off the Grande Americano Mocha Frappuccino match, and then you would have had plenty of time for this on Saturday night.
I agree. So something that happened on Monday that had everyone, hyped and interested, and all of the Dangerous Alliance, I heard it over on Get Show, and Evolution talk and all this. I don't necessarily know that I want any of that. I just kind of want it to be its own thing. But I suggested some members for this new faction being built that we're about to talk about.
Okay.
2 of those members were the Street Profits, even though, because brand splits aren't real and drafts don't matter. So, like, Street Profits with Seth Rollins, because, like, something about seeing Paul Heyman with the Street Profits or Seth Rollins with the Street Profits in those fits, like, it just seems like it works to me. And then, obviously, I'm a proponent for Becky Lynch. I don't care if she needs it or not. That's her husband. They're a power couple. She's heel, he's heel, put them together. So what happened was Seth came out and he was like, oh, well, Paul Heyman is, my girlfriend now. And CM Punk's like, no, fuck that. They go straight to punches. Punk gets his ass beat by taking his focus off Seth to go after Paul. Roman then comes out, drops Seth with a spear. Paul gets a Superman punch. And then Roman gets speared by... I wasn't ready. Oh, there it is.
Who let the dogs out?
Bron Breakker.
Yes.
Then he spears Punk, and then he joins Seth and Paul. They take Punk and Roman out together, and now you've got an elevated Bron Breakker, as people said, Batista to Seth Rollins, Triple H, if you will, with Paul Heyman as, I guess, the Ric Flair. Which
I don't like the Evolution comparison. And quickly here,
I think it makes sense.
So Evolution was like multiple generations, right? It was the past generation of Rick, it was the current top guy in Triple H, and it was the future in Randy Orton and Batista. One happened to be the muscle, one happened to be like the silver spoon kid, right? Paul Heyman doesn't fill that Ric Flair role because he's just a manager. He doesn't actually wrestle. People forget Rick and Batista were the tag team champions. So it's
Ric
like
Flair's old.
Someone made a statement, and I think this is a little bit more apropos. Someone said that this is the beginning of the Death Riders angle, but better. Because the motivations for Seth and Moxley seem to be parallel, I guess. And then I guess this would mean that Paul Heyman's Marina Shafir and Bron Breakker's Audio. However, I just want them to be their own thing. Like Matt said, Hey, what's up, Justin? I just want them to be their own thing. I think Becky Lynch makes the most sense. I've lobbied for New Day since they recently turned heel and they're already tag team champion. But I like Matt's idea of the Street Profits. On Getcha, we actually spitball the idea of including Bianca and the Street Profits in there. You don't have to do that, obviously, but I love that. The sexiest people here on the planet, baby. That's good. What's up, Ivan? What's up, OPC? How's it going, man? But yeah, I'm with you. Street Profits would be a good fit with them, and I just want them to continue doing what they're doing. It seems interesting. I like it. I'm sports entertained.
Well, Katie seems to like the Evolution angle. What do you think, Katie? Who do you want to see join, if anybody?
He was like, it doesn't really make sense because it's a past, kind of present and future. Paul is the past, Seth is the present, Bron is the future. So that's why I was confused as to why you said it doesn't really make sense.
No, I meant yeah, go ahead.
if we're doing it like that, I don't even necessarily think we need a tag team. If you want to throw on a tag team, sure, fuck it, whatever. Make this a faction big as hell, crazy as hell. Street Profits are a very good answer. You could, as Matt doesn't like them, Seth's protege is Nathan Frazier. So you could use Fraxium, but I don't think that would happen since they just showed up on main roster.
On SmackDown.
Well,
You said brand splits aren't real and drafts don't matter.
I know. I'm just because we're doing the weekly wrestling review. For anyone who didn't know, they showed up on the main roster on SmackDown. It was not they can't be in the group because they're on SmackDown. It was just an aside.
Yeah,
that's where.
Yeah. Yeah, Justin saying maybe Roxanne Perez, Akira Tozawa, add Jade, more like DX. It's everywhere. I also made a thought. What about a Naomi? Like there's so many different options that they could do by adding more members. But right now, I think you need to focus mostly on Bron Breakker and his alliance with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman before you add more people. You know, really sit there and like let that marinate in your mouth before you move on to the next dish.
And that's why I want a tag team, because a tag team won't take away from Bron Breakker's single shit.
We did mention on Getcho as well that Fraxon would be cool because of Nathan Frazier.
No, they wouldn't.
Take off Axiom's mask and show that Spaniard pretty boy face, like I said on Getcho. Come on, do it.
Frazier and a kid. Yeah, sounds great.
A kid.
It's Frazier's kid. It's Frazier's kid.
No.
Speaking of Roman, kind of fucked up, right? Okay. That Roman Reigns was in the building. He was there. We know he was there. He came out to the main event, but he didn't come out to wish Jay congratulations on winning the World Heavyweight title. Sami Zayn did, and we all saw the look on Sami Zayn's face, and we all thought Sami Zayn was on some bullshit.
Yep.
Listen, the energy when he got down shifted so much. Everyone was like, "Oh fuck, no!" And we were like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah,
exactly. Thankfully.
But I see it. They teased it way too many times. We got cock teased like at least 5 times that I could count. Even towards the end where Usos were at the stage and Sammy's out of frame, I'm like, he's gonna fly in there with a hula hoop. Like there were at least 5 times we were cock teased with like that Sammy heel turn, and they could do it. Honestly, they could do it.
Down the road, they could do it. I don't understand why he wasn't there, right? Like, why would you not show up and tell, or at least like a backstage like passing by? If you're too good as the tribal chief to come out and show your cousin some love after finally reaching this milestone, at least dap him up backstage or some shit. Like, goddamn, Roman.
Maybe he has that
forehead kiss.
Yeah, maybe he has that Dwayne The Rock Johnson mentality, where he's like, I don't want to take away from John Cena the 17th-time moment to come in and show up for the angle. I don't know. Just you're right. He was there. I didn't think about it till right now. You mentioned it, man. He should have just shown up for fucking Jay. What the fuck, bro?
Well, they probably were like, Roman might be there.
They don't want to ruin the surprise for him to show up at the end.
Which, we shouldn't have. We knew.
Yeah.
It's Raw after Mania. Everybody showing up.
Swallow on everything we've been talking about so far, by the way.
Yeah. Lots of swallows. Another swallow for me, related to this segment. Big Spoon Goon. not a happy boy, ladies and gentlemen. Not having a good time. And apparently, he's not going to take responsibility for the fact that he lost the match. He's going to blame Michael Cole for the things that Michael Cole said on commentary. And shout out to Pat McAfee, right? Like, I've noticed that Pat McAfee has been getting a lot of shit for his commentary on the internet lately. I still think Pat McAfee's fun. I still enjoy Pat McAfee. And I wasn't a Pat McAfee guy early on. I was like, fuck this dude. But he earned my respect and he grew on me. Now, Pat stood up for Michael Cole. He was not going to let Gunther put hands on Michael Cole. And because of that, he got Big Spoon gooned.
Yeah.
For a long, that he would not let go
No, he wouldn't. It was crazy. They did a really great job for all the people that were bitching and moaning. Oh, Gunther looks weak, tapping out so soon, and yada yada. He looked like a fucking monster. I forgot all about his the finish to the WrestleMania match. I was like, oh my god, Gunther is a fucking monster. He's a fucking beast. I am scared of that man. I don't care what Young Kings Wrestling say and what he looked like as a child. Big Spoon Goon, yes, Big Spoon Goon. What's a big goon to a goblin? No, Little Wayne said something like that.
Little Wayne said, "Okay, you're a goon, but what's a goon to a goblin?"
Yes, something
but
like
now,
that.
Does that mean Jay's the goblin?
Maybe.
Is that what we should have been
Green
playing
Goblin?
for Jay's victory?
Willem Dafoe?
Goons to goblins, I think.
Jaylan, if you hear this, maybe you could get like a "Okay, you're a goon, but what's a goon to a goblin?" with like Jey Uso choking out Gunther for us. A little clip.
Yeah,
He does this awesome stuff for us, and we love him. Shout out to Jaylan. Go follow
Shout out to
Tactics _
They suspended him, so he's suspended indefinitely. So it's a way to
Well, yeah,
write
just
him
put
off.
hands on commentators. You're not. That's a big no-no.
Yeah,
it's a bitch move. It's a bitch move.
Because Big Spoon Goon is a bitch.
You know who else is a bitch?
JC Jane.
Channing Stacks Lorenzo. As my Don said on Twitter, I didn't raise you to be a bitch, right? And we have some questions because he had Luca meet this man out in the middle of the desert, and we don't know if Luca is alive or dead. Now I'm going to assume he's alive because I don't think Luca got cut. I don't think this is one of those famous family write-offs where, we kill someone and bury him in the desert, and then we find him on TNA a few weeks later under a new name. Like, not what I think is going on here.
No.
But possibly, I mean, it alluded to that. It also could be because he opened his arms for a hug that he brought him out here to pledge his loyalty, and Luca had to make a decision.
I don't know. Luca's like, shit, and then they cut to black.
He's like, oh fuck. And then you got Tony meeting up with Riz, being like, Rizzo's like, were you fucking followed? Like, I'm not trying to have this. Oh,
poor Rizzo.
My favorite soap opera.
She's going to a safe house now because
she
Tony
has
doesn't know what's
to
gonna happen.
We don't know how much of a bitch Stack is. Like, I've been saying it for weeks. That short Stacks Lorenzo is a bitch. He's gonna undercut the Don. He's not happy being the underboss. I've been saying it. I've been through this kind of situation.
Yeah, this is your fault. We talked about those.
Listen,
this is your fault.
I've seen plenty of episodes of Breaking Bad to know that Luca Crucifino might not be seen from in the next couple of episodes. He might make a return towards the end, but we might have seen the end of him.
Well,
I'm hoping kidnapped and tortured, and like we find. Don't get me wrong, just because I don't want him to be dead. That's why I'm saying this.
They could
find him beat up somewhere, tied to a chair with a dildo up his ass and a few black eyes. Like,
whoa. Listen,
you're right. He doesn't need black eyes.
I hate you.
Listen, you should be rooting for Luca. Why are you like supporting or like saying this narrative of sticking dildos up his ass? Like,
I'm just saying it's torture, right? Torture, like that's.
Although we don't kink shame around.
What kind of torture movies do you watch? Because that happens in almost every torture movie I've ever seen.
I think you're watching the wrong.
You're watching porn. There's a difference.
You're watching porn. You're not watching actual torture movies.
I
mean, Tony did come back, like being like mind controlled or whatever by Stacks. He got beat up into a boat where he's like Stockholm syndrome, and he's like with Stacks because of that.
Yeah. Tony did say something that I love, though. We don't tolerate rats or disloyalty because we don't. And Stacks declared war, so now we're at war. And are we adding more people to the family? Because like, does Tony need more? And not the Impractical Jokers. Like, we can leave them in the back. We don't need them there.
No, fuck that.
Impractical Jokers.
All of the guys, listen, I love Tony and I love the family, but everyone that stands behind him in the same fucking clothes look like the Impractical Jokers.
They
look
so
like Joe and
Jokers.
No, they look like Joe and Sal and everyone but Murr. Murr is not back there. He is not.
No.
Brian,
you know,
definitely looks like Brian. One looks exactly like Brian.
You know, way too many names of these Impractical Jokers.
I used to fuck with the Impractical Jokers hard. And then they lost. Then they got. Listen, I love the Impractical Jokers, and then they got rid of Joe Gatto, and then I no longer could enjoy the show for some reason. It didn't hit the same without Joe.
As CM Punk said, they got lost in the sauce. Or was that John Cena that said he got lost in the sauce? Someone said that someone got lost in the sauce, and that's what happened to the Impractical Jokers. They got lost in the sauce.
So I was going to transition to something else, but we can do this. You brought up John Cena. Cena on Monday Night Raw decided to personally let Katie know that she is wrong and he did break up with her. And if she didn't get the message the first time, he's going to break her heart by letting her know exactly how many times she gets to see him appear. Not matches, appearances before he is gone forever. By the way,
in case anybody's wondering.
Yeah. Before he is gone forever and takes the WWE Universal title with him, which are the Undisputed Championship, whatever. Apparently they retired the Universal title.
Yes.
It's just the WWE Undisputed title.
But it being undisputed is because it's like unified with the Universal title. Like WWE title names don't make any fucking sense. Young Kings Wrestlings have talked about this in nauseum.
The WWE Championship timeline and lineage is almost as confusing as the Halloween timelines and lineage, all right? But my understanding is the belt that you understand those now because we have broken them down ad nauseum. We have not tried, but anyway, my understanding is
I don't understand what that means. What the fuck does that word mean?
Ad nauseum. It means like to the point
you
where you're
both
sick,
said
like,
it and then acted like I was supposed to know what the fuck that means.
You've never heard that before?
No.
That's really?
This is like the first time I heard egregious, and I was like, I don't understand what that means. And I was like, Reek, what does this mean? Because he's the one who said it.
You went to fucking college. You're the only one here that went to college.
You're the only college educated person in this.
Okay, and
you're a writer.
That word was not in any of my
egregious. Anyway, that's not important. That's
post-show conversation.
We're not talking about. Listen, this is a commentary on wrestling journalists, but we're not going to get into that anyway. So John Cena has whatever the WWE title lineage. My understanding is the title that John Cena holds is the same lineage that goes all the way back to Bruno Sammartino and farther. It's that lineage.
Yeah.
And then the Jey Uso lineage will be like the world heavyweight, the big gold belt, like from Raw early 2000s and that stuff.
Wait,
and
it does carry that lineage?
I believe so.
I thought it only started from like Crown Jewel when Seth won it. That was it.
I'd assume it would have the world heavyweight title lineage because it's a world heavyweight title.
Fucking no.
Because they got rid of it and they brought it back. And if I did it, I'd also include everything WCW because the world heavyweight title was essentially the WCW belt. And we can just tack on all the WCW shit to that too. So that's what I'd give that lineage. But I don't know. WWE is weird. Anyway, that's not important. John Cena, 25 more appearances. Right?
Yeah, because it was 26 on Raw and then he showed up on SmackDown.
27. It was 27 on Raw and then he showed up on SmackDown.
Bro said, I can't wrestle. I don't have to wrestle.
That's funny. That shit fucking killed me. I died.
And then he also talked about Cody and the fans and how Cody Rhodes is everything that the fans could have wanted. He was a workhorse. He was a champion. He was a face of the company. He was all of these things. He was the great white hope. And you guys booed him and you turned your back on him and you all suck. And I agree. Because Cody's for the kids and John Cena's fuck them kids. Then, because he wasn't happy with the things that John Cena had to say, one Randall Keith Orton decided to make sure that we at least saw John Cena wrestle one more time by dropping him with an RKO. Fast forward to SmackDown where John Cena comes back out and is interrupted by Randy Orton. And Randy Orton tells John Cena that he wants to get him pregnant. And John Cena's like, how dare you shame me for never being pregnant before? That's rude. I'm not a fan of that. Why are we doing that? And Randy's like, you just don't understand what it's like to have kids. And John Cena's like, I raised all of your kids. And that would include the three of us here as part of the kids that he raised.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in 05, I was 18, so maybe not me. And he hasn't been around to raise my children, but like you two for sure. Katie definitely got raised by John Cena. And apparently he's a better father. Well, actually, I promise. He said it. He said it. But is it true?
I'm not playing this game with you. I'm too sick to deal with this shit.
That chill.
May or may not be a better father than anyway.
Listen,
You
God.
you lost your privileges again. Not allowed.
I lost him again?
Yes.
It's the first time I've said anything in like 6 months.
Yeah, but you're trying to use John Cena against me.
I'm not trying to use him against you. I'm just trying to say that he raised you, and he's the father you never had.
You're such an asshole.
Bro,
Tina
can we
also
talk about
What if I just left the call?
what did she did? What did she do? That's crazy.
Then I'd be texting her and be like, "I'm so sorry. Please come back. It was just
yeah, you definitely would.
Are you really mad?" And she'd be like, "No, I'm not really mad. I just thought it'd be funny."
But in reality, I actually was mad. And yeah, it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
Are you really mad?
But no, I'm tired.
Well, I just want to make sure because we joke, we laugh, we have fun. And I don't want to cross any line. So anyway, John's like, I'm gonna, erase all of the family shit. What's up, Logan? Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca is getting a 5-star match from Dave Meltzer. That's a surprise.
No, it's not because there's a Yoshi wrestler in there in Io Sky, so that's why.
But it's a WWE match, and she's had a million matches, and how many of them have been 5 stars since she's been in WWE?
Yeah,
so
I guess he was forced into it.
And also, Dave Meltzer sucks, and so the star ratings don't matter.
Anyway, John Cena is going to erase the legacy of every family in wrestling by taking the belt home with them. And Randy's like, "How about we just settle this now and fight tonight?" And John's like, "No, listen, I already made my appearance. We gotta knock another one off the list. How about we do it at Backlash?" And so we get the Backlash in St. Louis. So we get the Backlash match. And then Cena's like, "Hey, this is the closest you're ever going to get to this title again," and then throws it to Randy and then punches him in the face.
Yep.
And then sets up for a belt shot, which he then misses and ends up assed out again in the middle of the ring, just like Monday.
Just like a lot of times recently since he came back, but that's okay.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if this is going to be his last appearance before the pay-per-view.
I don't know. Maybe because it is in like 2 weeks. It's possible. But this is the first time we're getting a heel Cena babyface Randall in their feuds over the past 20 years. So I'm very excited.
Very weird timeline we're living in. It's crazy. And then babyface Orton just wants to fill John Cena's voids. So I don't know. Maybe
he said he wanted to get him pregnant. That's what I heard.
That's what I thought he meant by fill the void. I thought he literally wanted to inseminate John Cena right there on.
Who wouldn't want to inseminate John Cena?
Let's all inseminate John Cena, so he doesn't leave us. We all got something to remember him by.
John Cena's final tour ends in a bukkake.
What the fuck?
Speaking of what the fuck, Becky Lynch.
Not even surprised. Not even surprised by that. Fucking saw it coming.
Stupid.
So we got a rematch for the tag team titles. No one is happy that Becky came back and won the titles right away. No one is happy that to fix that issue, they had a rematch, put the titles back on Liv and Raquel, because now everything that you did that we already didn't like feels like a waste of time. And even though for the first time since she won the Intercontinental Championship, and don't get me wrong, I agree there are other ways to get there, but we didn't get there other ways. We got there this way. Lyra has a real fucking feud that matters and has emotion and means something because her mentor, Becky, someone that she grew up and loved and idolized, that she beat down in NXT, has now turned on her and whooped her ass after she lost the tag team titles to Liv and Raquel. And we have a feud for the IC title. I mean, yeah, there was a better way to get here. We could have done
this with Bayley. This could have been done with Bayley in the spot of Becky Lynch. No, it's because WWE sucks, and Becky's music hitting an Allegiant gives anyone PTSD who was there in 2021. Her music hit, and I was like, I need to sit down.
Yeah. I'll say this. I think that the Lyra versus Becky feud storyline for the IC title should have been what the main thing was. what they used to be the catalyst was fucking stupid, because just have Bayley be the person. Don't have them win the match. Bayley gets attacked afterwards, like when they get a rematch, or whether have Liv and Raquel win through nefarious means on the pay-per-view, justifying a rematch on the Raw after. Bayley gets attacked on the Raw after. That's when Becky Lynch returns, and then she turns heel. You can still do everything you want to do, but have Bayley have her WrestleMania spot. I think Becky makes the most sense because she has that history and that like deep connection with Lyra, so it wouldn't hit the same with Bayley, even though they were trying to establish that going into Mania. I think this is all for naught, because I think Becky's going to get that title off of Lyra. Lyra's going to, get a program with Becky Lynch, but then she's going to fall out of the card. She's going to fall right into catering. They're going to do the reveal that Becky Lynch was the one that attacked Bayley. We're going to get Bayley versus Becky Lynch for the title and maybe SummerSlam. And then maybe Bayley gets the title, but it really should be Lyra that gets the title at the end. So I don't know. I think they might just be pushing Lyra out of this just so they can help elevate it with Bayley and Becky. Is that a good idea? I don't know. That's just my Austin theory.
Well, do you have thoughts, Katie, before I move on?
Just that I know last week you guys were talking about when this after your post Mania thing with Will, how people complain that Charlotte is the only one who comes in after injury, wins, blah 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 blah, and you guys said it. Becky has done it way more times and has consistently done it more. I hate everyone who does it, and it's stupid. And Becky doesn't need to win the IC title at all.
I'll say
I think the difference is, and we're seeing it more now. I think, Becky Hogan and all that stuff, like we're getting a lot of it, is a lot of people hate Charlotte for being Charlotte. And then when asked, what is your problem? They say, oh, she always comes back and just automatically gets put in. Whereas there's a lot more Charlotte hate than there is Becky hate in general.
I hate them both.
I've gotten to the point, I think for me, I can't remember which one happened first. If it was her returning at SummerSlam to beat Bianca in 26 seconds, or if it was her joining up with Lita and Trish to be in that tag title program. Regardless of the fact, they both do it. But I'll say this about Charlotte, at least when she does it, she sticks around for a couple of weeks and doesn't disappear. Becky Lynch shows up, sticks around for a couple of weeks, and then disappears for the whole year. Charlotte, it's 9 times out of 10 there the entire time. The only reason she was gone this time was because she got injured. So they're both bad, but at least Charlotte, is an abusive relationship, but she stays with you the entire time.
Well, from one bad women's segment to a very good women's segment, because Io Sky comes out to celebrate her championship win because, she got no respect. So she's out here to just celebrate the fact that, you guys treat me like shit and I still came out and I still won. And then she's confronted by one Stephanie Vaquer, as she said, who wants to not only show respect, but she's like, I want to fight the best of the best, and bitch, you're the best. So we get Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer. Unfortunately, this ends in DQ because Roxanne Perez also shows up on the Raw after Mania and attacks Io.
And
then Julia shows up and attacks Stephanie Vaquer. And then they, do a little wife swap. And then Julia starts attacking Io. And Roxanne attacks Stephanie Vaquer. And then Rhea comes and makes the save.
And she said, I'm the only one who can beat up Io.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I loved everything about this. Like, Io just looked so happy, and she was like jumping up and down, and she looked so cute. Like, she was so happy she like retained, and I loved that for her. And then Stephanie Vaquer comes out, and goddamn, the woman that she is. And then we get a fantastic match, and then all of the women. Yes, give me this every week. forever.
What up, Kofi? I'm glad to see you didn't turn heel on us like the other Kofi.
Nice.
No, this was all good shit. This is a big swallow. Love that.
We've got nothing but a bunch of swallows, with the exception of one bit. Maybe a little gargle with the Becky stuff. No, yeah, this is great. I don't know. I didn't know what to fucking do with myself because I was watching it on the kitchen table on my laptop with my wife, and it was kind of weird because I'm over here marking out for more women and more women and more women, and she's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I was like, "Look at all these women," and then she's like, "Wow, well." Even her breath was taken away. I was like, God damn, thank you for validating my feelings here.
Well, I only got 2 more things from Raw, so we'll stick to Raw. Finn Balor tries to pretend like he's not jealous of Dom and fails like he has at pretty much everything he's done since he joined the New Day or Judgment Day, including winning that IC title. Then Dom successfully defends that belt against Penta because of JD McDonough.
Funko Pops for the win. Let's go.
No, we're not doing that. We're not. Why? Listen, why is it a thing with my friends where somebody that is that we don't really care about comes out and helps someone you like win, and then all of a sudden we pretend like we like that person? Travis Scott,
like
JD
JD.
McDonough. Why?
JD from the jump. He was a really good wrestler back in NXT UK. Then when he came to NXT in the Cruiserweight division, him and Angel Garza put on a fucking clinic, one of my favorite matches of all time, beat Angel Garza for the Cruiserweight title. Then he joins Judgment Day. Obviously, I've liked him because I think he's funny in his interactions with Damian Priest. Then obviously everything that happened with the injury and the interview with Chris Van Vliet gave me even more of an appreciation for the man. And then him showing up without Finn knowing. Finn didn't seem like he knew that JD was showing up. He was like, hey, I'm back, you know? Everyone seemed to be clued in but Finn, and I loved it. Shout out to Travis.
I don't think it works the same way, but fuck it.
Yeah.
Thoughts, Katie, on JD's return?
Kind of underwhelming. I thought we were getting a new member of the JD, and I kind of expected it to be someone like that, but no. I also didn't even see anyone sneak under the ring, so I wonder how long he was down there.
Listen, he might have started off the show
Randy
there.
were just hanging out.
They had a little tea party where Hornswoggle under the ring. They were just like, "What's up? What's a little crumpets, little tea, little scones, something." They're just chilling. Close enough. No, I'm a swallow. And then also Penta too. He cut a promo afterwards. He said I'm gonna beat the fuck out of each and one of you one by one. So Penta going and assassinating one of them one by one is gonna be interesting. So we'll see how that goes.
Did he say fucking Spanish?
Yeah, he cursed in Spanish, which is great because they allow him to curse in Spanish, and then it's English commentary. So
it's like a cheat code. It's a cheat code. Yeah. Americans are so stupid they don't know any better, so you can get away with it.
Exactly. There you go. I love it. Love it.
You know what I loved? All of the sass that came out of nowhere from Maxine Dupree, because like, where the fuck has that been?
Dupree.
I was like sitting back and I'm like, what? Whoa, hold up, time out. Who the fuck is this?
Who's been taking promo classes? Good for you.
Yeah, like where have you been all my life, Maxine? Goddamn.
She came down in that tiny little mini skirt with Otis and Tozawa behind her back. She called the New Day Minutemen and just had all of the attitude. And then after the New Day fucked up her boys. Well, it didn't fuck them up, but
no, they didn't even get a chance.
They just got in the ring.
They just got in the ring. Yeah. That was it.
Do you know what day it is, ladies and gentlemen? Is that a yes, Vince?
It's Rusev Day.
There we go. Yes,
Let's
it's Rusev Day. Rusev returns. Rusev Pudria, Rusev Machka comes down. New Day's like, yeah, no, we're good. Fuck it. I'm out. They bail. And poor Otis and Tozawa, despite all of Maxine's sass, get beat down by Rusev. But we were all, like, it's sad because like we don't want to see those poor guys get there. But also it was Rusev, and I was happy to see Rusev, even though he was fucking up Otis with the acclaim.
The accolade.
Accolade, that's what it is. Not,
The Acclaimed?
no,
No, they're
he,
not
no, it's the Acclaimed. He fucked him up with the Acclaimed.
You
No,
fucked
they're
him
not
up with
tag team
the
anymore.
Acclaim.
He shoved Max Caster right up Otis's ass and then choked him with Anthony
Oh
Bowens.
my God.
No.
Big old dick. Anyway,
No. Relax.
I can't. Yeah, no, Rusev's back, big swallow. Maxine's attitude and promo skills, big swallow.
Yeah, it's all swallow. Rusev Day.
Io Sky is like the Will Ospreay version for the women's division. Stephanie Vaquer is like Bryan Danielson version. Their match would be the women's version of Ospreay versus Danielson. If on a pay-per-view and given some time and maybe the freedom to wrestle like they got in NXT back in the day with the black and gold.
Sure, it's not a bad comp. In terms of characters, I don't see it, but in terms of, like in-ring styles, yeah, sure.
Don't
die, Katie. Please don't die.
Try not to.
Can we talk about Jacob Fatu coming out to like what looked like a 3-minute warning jersey? Like
no, we can't.
Why?
No, we cannot.
So yeah, fine, we'll talk about it. All right. So Solo comes out and tries to take credit for basically everything Jacob. He's like, I brought Jacob in. The reason Jacob's U.S. champ is because of me, because I brought Jacob in. This is what happens when you listen to me. Jacob, blah, blah. Jacob's like, fuck you. I did this. Well, me. LA Knight comes down. He wants his rematch. As Vince said, Jacob's out there in his 3-minute warning shirt. We didn't get a 3-minute warning, though, before Drew McIntyre showed up, which I was not, of all of the people, I was not expecting Drew
McIntyre, but I was
like,
mad at it.
What the fuck are you doing here, bro? Like, but he made a very good point. He said, Cody lost. John Cena's a bitch. I want to fight the best.
I want to find the baddest champion on the show, and that's Jacob.
The baddest man in the yard. All of that. And Jacob's that man. Jacob's that dude. And LA Knight's like, well, yeah, but rematch. And Nick Aldis is like, I got this. Drew versus LA Knight. Winner is the number one contender. Right?
Yeah.
Match gets thrown out. Solo set up Drew for the win by taking out LA Knight. But then Damian Priest out of fucking nowhere, RKO, fucking assaults Drew, whoops his ass. Match gets thrown out. We don't have a winner. I don't know. So LA Knight was yelling at Damian. So I don't know if Drew won by DQ or what.
Yeah, they did.
Drew got put through the announce table.
Mm-hmm. They did the little graphic towards right before the main event started, and they said that Drew won via disqualification.
Okay. And then Jacob Fatu, again, no 3-minute warning, just flying through the fucking ropes, takes out Damian and LA Knight.
And then hits a beautiful moonsault.
Because everyone has a good moonsault except for Charlotte.
True. That's just facts.
Even JD has a good moonsault.
Speaking of beautiful moonsaults, the prettiest moonsault ever is owned by one Tiffany Stratton, who was confronted and then had a little friendly competition with Jay Cargill. They did a little thing. Unfortunately, they did not proceed with caution because Naomi came out and assaulted Jade. And Tiffany's like, oh, what the fuck? And then she got a little taste of her own medicine because Nia Jax is back. And Nia Jax smashed. She did not pass.
It's true. She smashed. No passes. I like the little tease we got of TV Time and Jade.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Could eventually lead to something much greater later down the line.
I'm kind of looking forward to the Tiffy and Jade tag team versus Nia and Naomi, which may or may not happen because like Nia kind of confronted Naomi and she's like, hey, just, stay out of my business. And she's like, as long as you proceed with caution. And Nia's like, what the
all
fuck?
for her business. Nia's like, bitch, are you okay?
Well, yeah. I think Naomi heard everything that she had to say on the roast and was like, don't think about going after me like you did Charlotte.
I mean, there's nothing to go after Naomi for, though. Like she's
DUIs, and I mean, there's a few things.
She doesn't have a DUI. That's her husband.
No, but she got arrested with them. She was a part of it.
She was an accessory to the crime, not the one
an accessory
committing the crime.
To DUI.
An accessory to DUI. She didn't proceed with caution that night. That's what happened.
They don't know how to proceed with caution.
No, fortunately not. But I liked it. I've been a proponent of like pairing, even if just like a small alliance between Nia and Naomi, Akil and Naomi, for like years now. Ever since like they started doing the Bloodline saga, I was like, maybe they could be added to the Bloodline or let them do their own thing. Like once the Bloodline cools down, which it has. I liked it. I liked all the women's stuff this week. It was all fun, including the stuff on NXT. NXT had a lot of fun women's stuff too.
God damn it, Vince! Stop making transitions for me. I have it covered. All right.
I'm not trying to make
transitions. And I'm not going to NXT because I have been trying to make you say for about 15 fucking minutes now, and you just keep transitioning into other shit. I have been saying for a very long time that AEW is WCW 2.0, and if that has never been more apparent, and I've never been more correct than I am today, because on Wednesday, one Master P, who also showed up in WCW, who started the No Limit Soldiers over in WCW, who did that whole thing, also showed up on Dynamite with the Ops. Well, minus Hook, because Hook's fucked.
The Ops and Hobbs. Powerhouse.
Death Riders crash the party and get choked out, and Master P's like directing traffic. He's like, yeah, choke them bitches out.
He gets some shots in on Mox too, which is crazy.
Yeah, fuck it, why not? Like, I am more okay with Master P getting shots in on Mox like he did than I was with Travis Scott taking shots at Cody the way he did.
Fair.
They both weren't great, but at least Master P was connecting.
Yeah. Kenny and Swerve also came down and joined in the fun because fuck it, why not?
Master P's the Bucks came out.
Nobody cares about them. They weren't there.
I mean, well, they were there, and then
they're not real.
That's when Swerve came out.
They're just two guys who pretended they started a company that Cody started, and then they stole it from him.
I like to think deep down, Hangman started the company. Deep down his hole.
The only thing Hangman can start is fires.
Yeah.
I mean, he is very good at that. He's
a very good arsonist. He probably learned from Randy Orton.
Probably. He watched a lot of Randy footage back in his youth.
How long ago did he burn down Bray's house?
He also burned down something else prior to Bray's house.
He burned down the shed and
he burned the Fiend alive.
That too. He was on a big arson kick.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
and he's never once been arrested for his crimes, ladies and gentlemen.
No. I mean, you can pair. What if you pair up Hangman Page and Randy Orton and let them go perform arsony and call them Harlem Heat again?
it's perform arson, not arsony.
Arsini.
Arsenio Hall?
Yeah. Both said it.
Stokely, who now is with FTR, which is weird. He was like,
what's going on here?
People burn down houses and like just listing all of John Moxley tried to murder people. It was just listing all of the accolades of crimes that have happened in AEW. And he's like, but FTR have to pay a fine for putting hands on Tony Schiavone. And I was like, that's fucking hysterical. Because like,
did he also mention pulling a gun out in traffic? Or did he leave that conveniently off the list?
Well, Fear the Revolver and the Bald One they were just like, nah, yeah, listen to Stokely here. No, the Revolver was not brought up.
Oh, interesting.
Well, it's because it didn't happen on TV.
Convenient, Stokely.
Stokely fucking Hathaway in his little tracksuit.
And then FTR. So the whole thing was weird to me. Like Stokely with FTR was weird to me. FTR, who have idolized the Rock and Roll Express like the entire time that I've known them, and the entire time they've been in there, just all of a sudden being like, "Fuck you, old man, we're gonna beat you up." And I'm like,
this is the second time they have done this since being in AEW.
Really, they beat up the Rock and Roll Express before?
Mm-hmm.
Is that when dude hit the Canadian Destroyer at like 90?
Maybe around that time, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think Ricky's 90, but he's probably close.
He looks it. But Adam Cole, he's like, I like old men. He came out and made the save. Good for him.
Well, I mean, I like my men older, but not that old. Jesus Christ. Well, it's because Adam Cole's a good guy. But hey, spitting the fact that they are him, Kyle, and Roddy, as I call him, shitty little boots, are like the Paragon, and they're not all the Undisputed Kingdom anymore, or whatever the fuck they were called. That irritates me. Just call yourself Undisputed Era again. Whatever.
I was so
also
confused.
they're the Kingdom down in ROH now, and it's just the Kingdom, not the Undisputed Kingdom. Or
So they split up the Kingdom from the giant faction that they had, and for a spell there, the OG Undisputed Era guys were calling them Undisputed Kingdom, but the other ones guys weren't around. Now they're the Paradigm Shift, or what are they?
Paragon. Paradigm Shift is John Moxley's move.
Right. Same difference.
and a Korn album.
Nice. So
It's also
the
name of the Korn album.
So the Korn album is their new name. The Korn album are like just that.
They are the Korn album.
They are the Korn album. That's
I know Vince doesn't watch AEW. But
I do.
listen, you know what you should watch, Vince?
What?
Anything and everything fucking Tony Storm, because Tony Storm, right? I love her so fucking much, right? She's gonna be on the red carpet for Empire Strikes Back, and she's
Already
like,
happened.
there isn't an empire big enough to strike this back, which I'm like, dude. And if that wasn't good enough, then she goes, but I'm not just gonna be cucking around the whole weekend. And I'm like, how did you make
See,
this
Tony
specifically
can
for
make
me?
those jokes because she's Tony Storm.
Yeah.
And she can say
Tony-
that shit on national TV.
How is this character made specifically for Matt Ritter? Like, I don't. But anyway,
If there was ever a wrestler, Matt, that embodied the spirit of the SmackDown podcast, it's time
Tony
to Storm these. Yeah, it's time to Tony Storm.
she is our spirit animal and our mascot.
She is what Dominic Mysterio is to the Get Joe podcast.
Someone
And Booker
tweet
T
that
to the
out.
Young Kings Wrestling.
So real quick while I'm talking, someone tweet out to Tony Storm that she's our spirit animal and the mascot of Smackin' Raw podcast.
I don't think she really uses Twitter anymore.
And Instagram, and I don't know. Anyway,
Instagram.
he also said if there's any bitch that has the itch, and immediately the queen, not Charlotte Flair, Amanada, showed up, and she's like, "Yeah, no, I'm down. Let's do this." So we're gonna get Tony versus Queen Amanada on Collision.
That's happening like right now. Well, it just started.
Right now,
Well,
probably.
I don't know because I think it was after the fucking playoff game or whatever. The sport.
Fuck sports.
Playoff Palooza is a stupid fucking name. They need to stop trying to be
I
creative.
mean, I like alliterations, so like I'm okay with it.
Palooza is a bad name.
Josh Alexander
Touche.
also is apparently over in AEW now.
Yeah, Josh Alexander.
Josh
From TNA?
Alexander.
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah.
dude the dude with like the wrestling helmet thingy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the guy
well-
that's a wrestler. The wrestler that just
Yeah.
is a wrestler.
He wears that because he has a cauliflower ear.
I thought he was a Kurt Angle fan, and he just didn't want to wear the wig or something.
Ospreay and Brody King as a tag team was weird to me. I don't know anything about what's going on. Why Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero are with the Don Callis family, or why, I don't know. I have not been paying. I don't want to know, honestly. I didn't care enough about it.
I mean, I was just gonna say before Trent got like hurt again, he was with Don Callis.
And Rocky Romero's his bestie.
Well, because Trent came back last week and was like, Rocky, come to the dark side. We have cookies. And Rocky's like, ooh, say less. So,
Oh my god.
I mean, I'm not saying that just because I'm going to see Revenge of the Sith tomorrow, but like,
Now I want
Maybe,
cookies. Now I want cookies.
maybe MJF should have tried that, because we are out here again with another MJF segment where he is trying to join the Hurt Syndicate. And this time he gets two thumbs. He gets a thumb from Shelton, and he gets a thumb from MVP. And MVP or Shelton's like, just so you know, it wasn't the hose or the Rolex that you gave me last week. It was MVP that got you this thumbs up. And then before Bobby answers, he's like, listen, you can have my car. Bobby's like, say less. Where are the keys at? Let's go. Gives this man the keys, lets him get in the car, and he's like, hey, Bobby, before you go, can I get that thumbs up? Bobby's like, no, thumbs down, and then drives away in MJF's car.
So the story here is Max wants three
Wants to be
matches.
black.
Okay. I thought he wanted Bobby's thumb up his ass or something like that, or wants Bobby's.
No, he just wants to be on blacked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really bad.
All black wrestling.
Which that's not.
You know who else really wanted to be on blacked?
Who?
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Clapped too early.
I'm in a rush. Trick came out trying to talk shit to Oba about the match, and then Joe Henry's like, "Hey, you know what? How about Joe Hendry and Oba Femi? How about we do that?" And by the end of this, Trick Williams, Trick Daddy, Trick or Treat,
Trick
that one too. Tricks are for kids. Trick Williams is not. Outside of the ring, on the rampway, looking a little like the third wheel as Joe Hendry and Oba Femi face off. Also, a lot of rumors that WWE has bought Joe Hendry's contract out from TNA and that they want to put him on the main roster and that they want to have him beat John Cena and become champion.
I don't know about that part. I know.
I did hear that they wanted to have him face John Cena. I did not hear that he was going to win. But if he did, Katie would lose her shit, and I would laugh.
Didn't you hear that from me? Like, we record on Monday, and I said all of that.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
See, look, legitimate sources.
Legitimate sources.
Live in studio.
No, best part about that was when Joe Hendry tried to get in Oba's face, and Oba said, "Look what happened to Muth."
Yeah.
And I said, "Talk your fucking shit, Oba. Come on. Don't let this serial killer come in here and try and take your title."
Listen. The best part of it for me was when Trick Williams crashed out backstage and broke a fucking camera, and then they had to
oh my god. Ava Rain was in the back. You just hear her voice. It was like, fucking wild.
Trick, I understand. Like, I get it. I too want to crash out all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I hate Joe Hendry in this. I don't want him near my ruler.
He's gonna be near your Cena.
I definitely don't want that.
We can't wait for the day that Katie turns around on that.
I got Zoe to watch it. Zoe was down. I just need to record the video, and then we'll sell Katie on Joe Hendry.
Nope.
She can't deny Zoe. She can deny a lot of things. She can't deny Zoe.
Zoe's a big Cody fan. I am not Team Cody anymore.
I'm gonna call her down here.
Don't show them what's
I'm gonna rat you out. Gigi and Tatum lost to Liv and Spanish Rachel, which rats. I get it because they just got the titles back, so they couldn't win. But also, could we not have just given them to Gigi and Tatum? Because
that's
fuck Spanish Rachel.
For real.
Yeah,
he was a 7-time tag team champion if you count the NXT ones, by the way.
Who, Rachel?
Who, Rachel? Yes, Rachel.
Rachel from Friends.
Rachel from
Jennifer Aniston herself.
Rachel. No. I feel you. She's got way too many tag team lineage for her, and she's not even a tag team specialist. I'm with Matt. Why not give the titles to Chemical X? I made a little observation. It feels like Chemical X. It's kind of like the three of us, you know. Well, like the three of us are Chemical X. You know, Katie would be Gigi because you know they both got the red hair. And then Matt would be Shotzi Blackheart because of all the tattoos. And then I'd be Tatum Paxley because she collects dolls and I collect Funko Pops. So I'm always surrounded by dolls. So
I mean, I also collect Funkos.
I was assuming that I was Shotzi because of the horror movie connection.
That too.
Katie was Gigi because they both showed their ass on the internet, and you were Tatum because you're pale with dark hair.
That also works.
Fuck you.
Chemical X and Chemical X.
Crazy.
You know what else is crazy? Thea Hale tapped Fallon Henry.
Fallon Henry.
No, fuck it. Fallon Henry got tapped out by Thea Hale. You know why?
Why?
Because JC Jane is a fake ass bitch.
Facts.
Fallon Henry. Yeah, no. Shout out to Thea. She is back. She's doing her thing. Andre Chase apparently is also deciding to revive Chase U, which fuck that and fuck you. And
The call just coming back.
No,
bro, I was so pissed. Where's your MVP? Where's your Ozzy Osbourne? Like, come on. Like, how do you leave those people behind? What are you, Santos? Like, you can't pull a Santos and just restart everything. What?
I'm out.
What?
Back choo choo train. Back the crazy train up. Did you say Ozzy Osbourne?
Yeah, well, I forgot his first name, so I just know it's Osbourne.
No.
Duke Hudson.
He's talking about Thea's boyfriend.
Yeah, I'm talking about Thea's boyfriend. His last name was Osbourne. I can't remember his first name right now. Riley Ozzy Osbourne, Jr. the third, and the MVP Duke Hudson. You left those guys behind. Thea Hale graduated. What he's gonna bring? Like, say what?
The two douchebags, the frat boys.
Yeah, she's a grown ass woman. I don't like that intro. I don't like that intro sound by the beginning. Well, no, or Chelsea's new one.
She got Death Rebelled.
She got Death Rebelled. Chelsea got Death Rebel too. It's like all pledge allegiance to Chelsea Green. And I'm like, you don't even say it funny anymore.
Chelsea Green.
I hate it. Yeah. I hate it here.
Okay.
Vince doesn't want to hear it, just like Jason Bourne doesn't want to hear any of Dark State's bullshit.
Miles Bourne.
I said what I said.
Bourne.
So
I thought you said it, Bourne.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
So Jason Bourne and Jevon Evans challenged Dark State to a tag match after they were talking shit. Dark State gets the win.
Boo.
Are we sure he even heard all the smack talk?
Stop. Don't say things about baby Randy.
Hear no evil.
WrestleMania was almost loud enough for him to hear something.
Ew.
See, he can tweet that shit because it's hysterical and he's allowed to make fun of himself.
Okay, fair enough. You know, I can make jokes about certain things and other people can't. I thought it was weird because why was Dark State of Mind just chilling backstage, just like they were regular members of the roster and not been causing mayhem and chaos in the backstage area for the better part of a month and a half?
Do you want to know why?
Because they have a ring.
Because they were in the most expensive fucking hotel in Las Vegas, and they're not allowed.
Like
that's fair.
There's your reason.
That's fair.
The TC Fontainebleau.
Yes, the TC Fontainebleau.
Yeah, shut
up. So Ricky Saints is out there, and I don't know how I feel about Ricky Saints because sometimes I'm like, yeah, Ricky Saints, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know about Ricky Saints. I'm hot and cold on Ricky Saints. However, I'm very cold on Lexus King, and apparently all Cody's boys got to fight because Lexus King came out and he challenged Ricky Saints, and he's like, "We'll do it title for title. I'll put my cup on the line after I win tonight." Spoiler alert: he did not. Noam Dar returned. Regained his Heritage Cup. And regained his Heritage Cup, which means it's probably going back to Heritage Cup rules. Yes. No more Lexus King Americanized bullshit.
Yeah, how dare he? How dare? Thank you, Katie. You said it before I could. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And then Lexus jumps Ricky backstage while he's distracted by Ethan Page.
Yeah.
That big ego.
Big
ego. I mean, probably.
You think so?
Maybe.
We'll see. Just a lot of opening.
I feel like we can
I wonder what size gloves he wears.
Everybody's dying on this show.
And then last but not least, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Main event of NXT. After all of the nonsense on Monday Night Raw, we got Roxanne Perez facing one Stephanie Vaquer. What are you laughing at?
The way you pronounce Stephanie Vaquer, and I think you do it on purpose because
she did it. She did it on the show. She said Stephanie Vaquer.
Yes, because a lot of Latino or Spanish-speaking people have a hard time pronouncing the S just Stephanie. It's always S Stephanie or Esteban, you know. So it's tough for them, you know.
Is it not Esteban? Is it just Esteban?
Esteban versus Esteban. Or I don't know. That was not the perfect comparison. Right?
I didn't want it all because I'm like, it's not
Here.
Esteban as far as I know. I'm pretty sure there's an E there.
La primera.
It's Stephanie Vaquer and Roxanne Perez. Fucking slap.
Who
And
fell
Julia showed up at the end and she was like, hey, don't forget about me. You still got my title, bitch.
And
Yeah.
Jordan Grace was standing there on the side, menacingly.
Yeah. Everybody was in the cuck chair in the main event.
Everybody in the club getting tipsy?
Everybody in the club.
Everybody in this bitch getting tipsy.
Yeah.
Big swallow. I have no idea what we're doing with Roxanne Perez, though. Like,
it feels like she's stuck in limbo because they don't know if they want to keep her in NXT. They want to move her up to main roster. It just kind of feels like she's just like stuck in between the polyamorous portal or whatever the fuck I called it before.
Yeah, she's stuck in the paradigm shift or whatever the fuck Vince was saying.
Listen, I love CM Punk. He's finally main evented at WrestleMania.
Phil.
Here's what we do: we bring back his wife, the lovely April. We'll call her.
I've been asking for months, for years.
We'll call her AJ Lee.
We'll call her AJ Lee, but we bring back April, and we let April be the mother to Cora Jade and Roxanne. We're gonna have to figure out a way to fix this because Roxanne bailed on Cora Jade again, and they hate each other all over again.
Maybe, no, I don't want to see that anymore. Like,
maybe Mother can fix them, and then we get our 3-woman power dynamic, and then CM Punk can manage them and just like cut promos and be fun.
AJ Lee is Mother.
Yeah. Well, she also mothered Bailey as well. So like you could also throw in Bailey in. She's also like she's not a Punk child, but she's an April child for sure. Bailey is.
We don't need to throw Bailey in everything. Let Bailey just be Bailey. She's earned it.
They got to give something to Bailey. God damn it! They keep taking her out of things. So
they do, but just let Bailey be Bailey. Like we don't need to stick her in the LWO and in this new faction that I just made up that isn't even a real thing. And
I want to see Bailey involved in every single angle at every single point of the time.
Bailey wants to get fucked.
What?
She said it in an interview. She's like, I want to be in a love angle on WWE TV.
Oh. Her and Nia Jax, book it. She keeps calling her BBL Bailey. She's the one the most obsessed with Bailey.
Yeah, Nia, because like that's just not real. Nia, baby, is real.
Well, wait, who was flirting with Nia a while back? Who was like all up in Nia's business a while back?
Wasn't a bunch of people? I think Angel Garza was trying to flirt with her with the roses and stuff.
Enzo Amore?
Enzo Amore. It was Enzo Amore and Nia Jax. Yes.
I know that happened, but you're talking more recently than that.
I feel like there was something more recently than that.
It was Angel Garza. Was giving her roses.
Garza?
Yeah, Garza was giving her roses.
So what we do is we have, we bring that back, right? Angel shows interest in Nia again, is handing out the roses. She's still doing her resistance shit. And then we hook up Angel and Bailey. Bailey can join Legato to make Vince happy. She's in a faction now. She's in something. And Nia gets mad because even though she didn't want Angel, she doesn't like that Bailey took the man that was flirting with her. And they can feud off that.
I'm not sure if that's what the angle I would have gone with. I still prefer.
Who are you trying to say fuck Bailey?
Nia. I just said it. I said Nia.
Yes, Katie? Oh, Katie said me.
You said yes, Katie? I volunteer as tribute.
Katie volunteers as
tribute. Katie and Pam love angle.
Yeah.
That's all right, because listen, if anyone knows Tony D'Angelo personally, please pass this message along. I know that you were hurt, right, by Stax. You need somebody from your home to have your back. I got you. Let me join the family. I'll be there. I got you. Every time you're in Chicago, bring me in. I got your backs. Listen.
You didn't even save CM Punk. You were in the same building.
I tried. I was too far up. If he had gotten attacked when I was at SmackDown with Zoe, I would have made it. All right.
But what if you're so high up you can't save Tony D? Is you gonna use the same excuse? I was too far.
Well, I'm talking to Tony D now, so Tony will have me in the back. I'll be with him. It'll be all right. I won't need to run down the steps.
You'll be the Impractical Jokers.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah.
Fedoras and all.
If you need an Italian from Chicago, you got one, Tony. All right. Raw after WrestleMania, spit or swallow.
Swallow.
Swallow was the best show of the week. Fucking perfect.
NXT after Stand and Deliver, Spit or Swallow.
Swallow. Great stuff. Loved it.
SmackDown after WrestleMania, Spit or Swallow.
Also Swallow. It was a good show.
It was the best show of the week. We're just gonna say that about every show that happened this week. They were all the best show of the week, except for Dynamite.
Dynamite gets a fucking spit, even though I didn't watch it.
Jesus.
Dynamite after Master P.
I'm gonna spit Dynamite, swallow it, and then spit.
No, I'm gonna swallow
just
Dynamite.
spit it
I enjoyed what I watched. For the most, I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but I enjoyed Tony Storm.
Jamie Hayter, Chris Stat.
Yeah, that happened too.
That was the main event, and then she flipped off Mercedes.
Yep,
it was great.
It's a lot of good there.
All right, Katie.
Okay.
Where can they find you?
You can follow me on Twitter, Katie Wrestling 13. You can find the link tree in my bio to all things She Elite Showcase, twitch.tv/She Elite Showcase, and youtube.com/She Elite Showcase. Typically Thursdays, 6 p.m. Eastern-ish.
Vince, where can they find you?
Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at SESVince. All the social medias at SESVince. Check out the Get Show podcast Wednesday nights on the Circle of Debate YouTube channel. We're going to be doing an exclusive Harry Potter sweaty session episode. 3 separate Harry Potter sweaty sessions. No wrestling talk. I'm just going to associate Harry Potter and wrestling and sweaty talk. So it'll be fun.
Okay. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Members at MTTRDDR for your wrestling content at Getting Off for your horror content. Follow Getting Off tomorrow. Talk about it at the beginning of the show, 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern, for Katie, me, Final Girls, talking the collector and the collection. You can follow me everywhere else on socials, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at Smackin' It Raw. For Miss Katie Kinsey Bebe and Vicente Alejandro Delgado, I am the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Matt Ritter, and
bye-bye, bitch.